Oh wait, oh we're starting now. Fuck. We are live now. There's never like a good way to start, I feel.
No,
Just
no.
like,
I am wearing pants though, so that's a start.
oh shit. Yeah, no, I'm wearing pants too. I thought about it. I thought maybe no, but my heart
Um,
my heart said yes.
yeah,
Like literally just getting home from work.
really.
Oh
It's been
yeah.
a long day.
Yeah, 8 o'clock in the morning.
That sucks.
Oh, it's all
I know
right.
I've been working days like that lately.
Yeah. Except your job's like real, so it's like
Uh yeah.
I sat at a desk and
Well, I sit at a desk now too. I'm basically like a babysitter.
oh
I got promoted or whatever. So now I
oh
get to like just babysit other guys and get yelled at all day. It's awesome.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
I just watched YouTube videos and that's the joys of working for university, man. They just pay you to sit down and do nothing. They gotta look good somehow.
Oh, I know. I think I've gained like 20 pounds. Sit there all
Yeah, that's what happens. There, and now I have the chat, so I can see if anyone wants to chat with us.
day. Sweet. I have
Sweet.
no idea how any of this works anymore.
I like. I feel like you can't do it in the live anymore, like the Hangout. I just open another YouTube window.
Yeah, this whole thing, ever since they added it, it's just been a huge mess. Like that whole Google Plus thing shouldn't have even been a thing. They should have just had the video chat thing in YouTube. Would have just
Yeah,
saved a lot of headaches.
it's
I think
all right.
it's just like every time I log into it, I don't even know what to do anymore. I have to figure it out.
They change it like every week. So
And now knowing certain web browsers don't want to use it anymore, that's awesome. To install Google Chrome.
yeah, Google Chrome is so terrible.
Uh, yeah, what it was either that or Internet Explorer, or I guess I could download like Safari or something.
You'd be a lot cooler with Internet Explorer.
I guess Google Chrome can be my YouTube
YouTube
web browser.
YouTube web browser. I like your fancy new room.
Oh yeah, this is my spare room. There's like nice blank wall. Oh, are you talking about this room or the room I'm in? Or
Originally, I was talking about your room video, but I think it's funnier if you go with this room.
yeah, it's a nice eggshell white in here with the nice white grapes. It's lovely.
That's like your that's like the room you stay in when they're away, so that like
this is all this room is for. It's for like going on the internet and drunk people staying overnight.
there's it's very minimal because that's all you need is just a bed, the internet, and some lotion.
Oh yeah, lots of that.
Oh no, I was talking about your dad. Is it downstairs? You're in a
Yeah,
house now, are you? Yeah.
it's a I don't know what you guys call it. Like it's a townhome.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's different names depending on where you go. So
Townhome works.
yeah, housing market out here is just it's insane. You cannot buy a house for less. Like I think the cheapest house, like a shithole, is like a couple $1,000,000. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like,
It's like the
yeah,
worst place in the world to live.
it's got to be. Because are you guys more? I think you guys are more expensive than Toronto, aren't you?
I think I think Vancouver is
Takes the cake.
definitely in Canada is one of the
Yeah.
worst, if not the worst.
I've been laughing at everyone here in Toronto because everyone like they had that like real hot pocket, and now like it's just destroyed. The bubbles burst.
I wish the bubble here just keeps getting bigger. Like it doesn't stop. It's I don't know, like the way it is now, like I don't know what like my children are gonna do. Like we're gonna have to like there's gonna be like 100-year mortgages and you're gonna have to like have your whole family live with you. It's ridiculous.
They're gonna have to like it's gonna be like that Black Mirror episode where they like all they do all day is like ride on the bike and it's like virtual reality and they get money for it.
That'd be sweet.
That's what it's gonna be like. That's gonna be life.
That's like that Ready Player One book where just like real life sucks and nobody can afford anything. So they just wear like helmets all day and they just live in like online.
Are you excited for the movie?
Oh my god, I'm so excited for that movie.
I
can already tell by the trailer that they've changed the story around quite a bit, and like the whole. Have you read the book?
No, not yet. You can talk about it. You can talk about it. I'm not one of those people. I don't care about spoilers.
No, like I won't. I won't spoil it or anything. Like, but basically, like the whole movie, like it takes place, I think, in like the 2030s or 2040s or something. But they're like super obsessed with everything in the 80s, like movies, video games, like all that cool stuff, like cartoons and everything. So, yeah, like when the whole premise of it is like real life sucks. Everybody lives in trailers that are stacked on top of each other. And like the planet's like totally polluted. So they like just wear these VR helmets and they got like the cool like space suits that they wear. And yeah, they just live online and they go to work online. It's like a big game, but you can do everything on it. Like there's no real money. Everything's digital. You're like your avatar can look like whatever the hell you want. You can be like a badass. The main character goes to school. He doesn't look like how he looks in real life. It's like, it's rad. And then you can like, I don't even know what to compare it, like a video game to compare it to. It's like World of Warcraft, except if you could just do and have and be whatever you want. You can like, if you can like buy a spaceship, you can like fly to different planets. Like one planet is like a whole planet that is like the whole planet is based on the movie like The Breakfast Club, so you can go like hang out with them. Or like another planet is like Voltron. It's fucking it's whatever you want. Like you can. But when I was watching the trailer, like I'm seeing like Street Fighter characters and like Overwatch characters. I'm like, what that? Like this is an 80s. Like what the hell's going on here? But I mean, if you can do whatever you want, then I mean, why can't like Chun-Li fly a Millennium Falcon? But I don't even know how they're gonna. I'm gonna be disappointed because in the book, like there was like TIE fighters shooting at like DeLoreans and whatever. But obviously, like what is it? Is it like a Warner Brothers movie? So they've got like I think there's like DC characters in the movie, but like obviously you're not gonna get like Mickey Mouse or like Darth Vader in it. Like they'd never get the rights to that.
Yeah, I was gonna say everything I saw was kind of like contained to what they own.
Yeah, to what they own, exactly. But there was a Gundam in it, so that's pretty cool. At the final battle, like the whole thing with the book is the guy that created this world, he dies and he's like left these little like keys throughout this like massive universe, and whoever finds all three gets to inherit like all his money and like all his wealth and everything, and you get to like basically own this whole online world. So like there's this like shitty company, like Weyland Yutani kind of company that like wants to like they want the fucking keys because they want to like monetize this game, and right now it's free for everybody. And
I gotta read it. It's on my list.
So
I might even have a copy of it. I think
so badass. If you can, you know what? You can even download the audiobook and like Will Wheaton, he like narrates it. It's so badass. It's great. And the final battle, it's insane. There's like like Mecha Godzilla fighting like Gundams and like all these like crazy Japanese robots. It's just like I don't even know what the hell's going on. I can't wait to see it in a movie. I'm gonna be disappointed because they won't get everything in there, but yeah, it's gonna be cool.
I think it'll be interesting. Like I always like movies like that because then like I like to see like old '80s references that like only like 1/4 of the theater gets.
Oh, there's like yeah, there's parts in the book where like to unlock a part to even get to the key, you have to like reenact oh, what movie was it? Shit. Like War Games. You have to you play Matthew Broderick and you have to like reenact it, and it's like it scores you on how accurate you deliver your lines, and if you fuck it up, it boots you out. You gotta start over again. It's I don't even know how they're gonna do this movie. Like it's insane.
It will be exciting.
If you're in your like early 30s, like late 20s, like Ready Player One is like the greatest book ever. If you're watching this, you should read that book.
Just read it.
Yeah. If you like comic books, video games, cartoons, whatever, if you're a man child, you'll love it. Like that book's awesome.
If you have a room that is eggshell white, you will enjoy it.
If you have your very own Matt Cave, you should go read that book.
The Matt Cave does look very. I still drool. I love the bookshelves.
I was actually installing more shelves down there this morning. It's so hard. Like I would need trying to like contain everything into one room is so hard.
Yeah, it's terrible.
At my old place, it was just like it was like in the living room, it was in the dining room, it was in my room, it was everywhere. Now my wife's like, you can have one room, you can do whatever you want to it, but I don't want any of this shit bleeding off into the rest of the house. Like, I don't want to live in Neverland Ranch.
What are you doing at your house?
Yeah, children, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say because it probably
I'm not ad friendly anymore because of jokes like that.
Sorry, I just keep up with that kind of stuff, man. Do you have like? So do you have like you have your whole comic collection in there? Did you like? You didn't get rid of anything, did you?
No, I didn't get rid of anything. No, basically, like everything. That's not true, actually. I still have all my single issues. They're just like they're all boxed, just in a shelf out in the other room.
Yeah.
So it's basically like my little room is like you have to go through the garage, and it's like its own self-contained room, little escape. It's pretty badass. And then the garage is mine as well.
Okay, nice. Yeah.
That's my my nerdy little like Dungeons and Dragons paint station out there.
Yeah, I keep telling my wife, I'm like, you have to finish your master's and get a real job so I can I'm like, I'm not used to like we're like just in like a 1-bedroom. It's like pretty big, like by like a 1-bedroom apartment in Toronto.
Yeah.
Near the university. So I mean it's not huge, but we're so used that we've always lived like in 2-bedroom, 2-floor apartments.
Yeah.
So like I'm used to like our last place, like I just had so much stuff. And now I'm like, I have nowhere to put anything.
Yeah, like we we moved, oh man, like in September we moved into this place, but like for like 6 months we had to stay at a smaller place, and like all my stuff was in storage, and it sucked.
Yeah.
When you have to pack all your cool stuff up into boxes, you realize like all the crap that you've accumulated. You're like, I want to keep it, but it's just like, what am I doing with my life?
That's what happened to me hard.
Yeah, I just like it. Yeah, I threw a lot of stuff out. Actually, it was just.
Yeah, I ended up like I think I got rid of like maybe 2 long boxes, which is like not impressive. I was like, when I first started, I was like, I'm gonna get rid of like half.
I
And
tried. Yeah, I tried to do that. I can't do it.
yeah, I was the same way. Like I think though, and what I got like I because my whole thing was like I was like, you know what? I'll get rid of a bunch of stuff, and then like maybe I'll like buy some wall issues or like something like I really want. And then
Yeah.
what really turned out happening is like I got rid of like 2 long boxes of just trash that no one would pay any
No,
significant.
that's most of my collections like that too. Like, and what I did just to like compact it in a bit was I had every issue bagged and boarded separately. So it's like I've got like issues of like Battlestar Galactica from like the 80s. Like nobody, this stuff is garbage. You throw it in the garbage. You go buy like Golden Age bags and you put all the issues in that one bag, tape it up, boom, you went from like a stack that long to like that.
I think I sold I had issue number 1 of that series.
Oh, it's terrible. It's so good.
Yeah, I kind of want it back now, but
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't
That,
bring it. I left all my stuff in Newfoundland. I have like a friend holding it. I feel really bad. I just split it up between 2 friends of mine because I had like 40 short boxes. And I was like, you take 20 and you take 20. And I was like, I'll ship them up here at some point.
yeah.
And like I already have like 4 short boxes already since I've been here in August.
I've
I'm just
tried
like,
cutting down. I try cutting down what I buy every month. I still buy single issues. It's just I don't really like Green Lantern. Like I haven't been keeping up with that lately, but I still buy it.
yeah.
That I'll buy that forever. I was getting I was buying ROM and that got canceled. Or it's like going into like Transformers or something, and I don't really care about that. But then like I'll go to the comic store and it's like Street Fighter versus Darksiders. I'm like, I do want to read that. I'm like, this is so stupid. Why am I buying this?
What is going on with life?
Yeah.
I've been trying to cut. Actually, mine's not too bad now. I think I only get like maybe 10. I say that I added a couple, but yeah, no. I was like, well, I'm really contemplating on canceling most of my Marvel stuff just because I saw Unlimited's doing like a promo right now, so it's like $60 for the year. And because I used to have Unlimited and pull the singles,
Oh man.
but the problem is like now with these like warehouse sales that like my new shop has, like I'm like every issue I'm buying is $1 in this warehouse, like
Oh,
after it comes out. So it's like I'm literally like I don't know why because they order like a shit ton of books, and I'm like so I don't know why. Like I don't know. I don't know. I'm reading Captain America right now and it's terrible. It's like literally terrible.
The last Marvel book I was reading was like Nova, and I think it got canceled after 7 issues.
Yeah, I did. I was reading that one. That George Perez was on it.
Yeah, that's the thing with Marvel is I find it's so manipulative. Like they'll let the comic run for the year, like start, and then they just restart it again at issue 1, and it's like, oh, like all you're doing for me, you're you're giving me points to just cancel the book. Like,
yeah,
DC's more like I like more DC characters, but it's like they keep the numbering going. So it's like if you want to get my nerdy dollar, you just keep the numbers going because I don't want to have a break in my collection. But I'm enjoying DC more. So
am I right now, especially because like this is the first time in a long time I think that like Action Comics with Superman are like really good. And although I saw like I think like yesterday or the day before they like announced that they're restarting Superman to 1
really,
after 1,000, like because Bendis is writing Superman.
God, keep him at. Oh man,
And they announced that they are going to start at a new number one.
I did see that article actually. That annoys me so much.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
You know what's gonna happen? He's gonna end up on Justice League or some team book, and it's just ugh.
Yeah,
That he's not a bad writer, and if you've never read anything by him before and you jump into one of his books, like it's a solid book, but if you read multiple Bendis titles, everything sounds the same. Everybody has like their role. You got like the tough guy and the silly guy and the whatever, and it's just like
I was reading because I pulled Defenders, which I think they're canceling. It should be almost done. Or no, online. Someone's jumping on that, but it's just like typical Bendis like group writing, which it's just frustrating. It's shame because like I really like Jessica Jones and I really like Luke Cage, and it's just like they're just not well written, which is kind of shitty because he was writing Jessica Jones. I actually really like the newer Jessica Jones series is very like if you like the original Alias, it's like very much the same. But it's like then they just turn her into a goofball for Defenders.
Well, Alias was like basically like an R-rated book, and then now it's on Netflix. Even though that show's like R-rated, but they has to have like the comics have to have this mass appeal or whatever. Like if little kid reads it, I think. Yeah.
Although I'll be interested to see because, like, I know they said, well, I knew they weren't going to cancel Jessica Jones with the new season coming. So, like, I didn't hear who's taking over, but I'm interested to see how much they destroy it.
Yeah,
it's been pretty good.
I haven't had any interest in any of those books. Like, I kind of like going off on two different things here, but like I just find with like Marvel, like nothing. I find like over the course of a year or a couple years, they have like this narrative for that year, and then when that's done, everything gets a soft reboot, and then all that other stuff didn't matter. Like Secret Invasion, Civil War, like House of M, like that stuff doesn't even matter anymore. Like that was some like that whole. I don't even know, like that was over a course of like a year or two, and like that was so epic, and now like none of that matters. The nice thing with Marvel is if you're like a little kid and you want to get into it, you can just pick up number one and you don't need to know anything. But it's like for me, like stuff that like for DC stuff that happened in the 80s still matters, and it's
they're
so
still
badass
about it.
Yeah.
Well, I think DC's so much better at like like what you were saying, like even if it's stuff that you don't need to know for like the narrative, they still give that nod to like, oh, you've been reading like Green Lantern since like issue number 1, volume.
You remember that little dog Green Lantern, see him in the background, or like the squirrel or whatever. Like it's just so cool to see that. Like they're still there. They don't do. I mean, it's all minor stuff, but
remember these Green Lanterns we made when we were on acid?
Yeah, or like when like Guy Gardner had like his big stupid mustache, which was really badass. And then they were like, I remember there was like, I don't think it was in Green Lantern. There was a book where I think it was like when the New 52 started in Justice League International. I think somebody made fun of a bowl cut he used to have in the early 90s. Like it's just like stuff like that. It's so awesome.
That's hilarious.
It's just I don't know.
Well, see, that's my issue is like then going the total opposite way. All Captain America has been like Mark Waid bitching about like the Secret Empire event. So every issue is just him bitching about that event. Essentially,
it's this creative outlet. He hates where he works, and he just has to get it out somehow.
Oh, I just think it's like I thought it was kind of interesting because I keep saying like as time passes and the trades are out now, I see so many more people warming up to Secret Empire.
I haven't read Marvel in like at least, oh man, like 2 years at least. I don't even know where to start with trade paperbacks or hardcovers. Like everything, it's like, oh, Avengers Volume 1. Well, which Avengers Volume 1 is this? Like, you have to know who's writing it, and like, it's.
Well, and I feel sorry, like, because anyone that was trying to read and trade like the Secret Empire event, like, the only reason I lucked out is because I pull Captain America Steve Rogers and Captain America Sam Wilson, which you had to read both of those series in order to even understand what was going on.
I don't like that.
No, total.
When I was going through my books there, I'm actually going through my collection right now, but it's like I'm rebagging stuff. Like I'm rebagging like the legendary Star-Lord, and it like tied in with X-Men. I'm like, this is insane. Like, at least like, you know, I keep bringing up Green Lantern, but Green Lantern, if it tied in with anything, it tied in with another Green Lantern book. You're already buying it anyways. Like, is there like a lot of bleed? Like,
yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible.
That's the sort of stuff that used to bug me when I was younger. Like, I don't know if you remember, like the Superman books back in the day. Like when I was younger, used to have, you'd have like the Adventures of Superman and like Action Comics and the Supergirl. They'd have their own numbering, but then they'd have the little triangle with the number. Like, this is to know in which order you're supposed to read them, because it's like one book went into the other book, instead of just staying in their own.
And that was like, that's when like there's like 800 Superman books.
I always found that. Yeah, I was even looking at like that's annoying. But I find which one was it? I think it was like Avengers versus X-Men, or like I think it was that book where each issue was written and drawn by somebody else. I'm like, this, it's so jarring to, I can't imagine, like, if you were reading that in a trade and it just, you're seeing like, I'm blanking on the guy's name, who did the art for that, and then it would go into like John Romita Jr. and then it's some other guy, and I'm like, this is insane. I can't follow this.
Yeah. And I find I find that with a lot of the Marvel books now, it's even just the normal issues. It's like very common now that you get like 2 artists on a book. I'm like, these artists can't even do one book.
Yeah, didn't they? Who did that? Yeah, I remember there was I think that was like, didn't like Uncanny X-Men do that, where it was like every other page there was a different artist, or they were just like alternating pages? It was like, it was insane.
Yeah, it was.
I don't know. There's lots of examples of that, but
how far behind are you
Nerd Rage
on Green Lantern?
Oh God. See, that's
I just wanted to ask you to embarrass you, because I know you're probably behind.
Oh man, it was. What are they at? What are they at now? Like in issue, like the high 30s now?
I don't have the normal. Yeah, because this is the newest HAL, and that's 37.
Okay, so Green Lanterns would be in the mid to late 40s, probably.
Yeah.
I think I stopped reading probably in the early 20s.
Okay, yeah.
But I can't remember what I read. Like I'm not even sure what happened. Everything that happened after Jeff Johns left, my heart hasn't been in it. I don't know, man. I keep buying them and I look at it, it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, yeah, it's just, I don't know.
I was like kind of like really riding with Green Lanterns for a while. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like this is the problem. This is what happens with Green Lantern. It's like, it just like they get you, and then it's like the writers just are like, oh, like just stop caring.
Yeah,
Like
I've noticed too. Like I haven't been following it, but like I noticed that they do short little story arcs. It seems like
oh yeah,
one
it's like
two or
2 issue
three
story
issues.
arcs. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's like
and they're literally like the Green Lanterns is a good example because probably the last like 3 story arcs, I felt like I've been reading the exact same story arc. They just like remove this villain, put this other villain in, but it's like the exact same. It always has to do with like the Guardians now and like how they're sad that no one likes them.
yeah, that's been annoying. Yeah, they should have resolved that.
They're like,
I know
I will say they're trying to, like, the last issue I read that's like they're trying to fix this Guardian issue now.
that should have been like for me. Like I know it kind of goes like two ways. Where like I understand they don't want to go back. They've like mixed things up and they don't want to immediately go back to the way things were, but they should have resolved that like 2 or 3 years ago. Now
Yeah.
it's just I just don't care anymore. It's just a big mess. Like seeing I think last time I read, like, you still see Saint Walker pop around every once in a while, and he's still sad, and he doesn't have a ring, and it's just like, oh, like this is not fun.
He's always so sad and lonely.
Like, he was like he was such a good character. Like it's just it sucks to see him. Like he got addicted to drugs, and his whole family left him, and he's just like he's all broken now. It's like, is that all he was the ring, and now he's lost it? He's just a shitty, sad character now.
Yeah. I'll also say I'm not like, I don't know what the big, I guess I don't know until I see. I feel like there's a bigger scheme, but apparently every DC book right now, like as in this month, the villain is Zod, like in every book.
Mm.
And it's annoying as shit because it's like Zod at different points in time. Like it's not even connecting. So like in how
That's cool. I like that.
it works. It works for the Green Lantern. I feel they're building it up because like in Green Lantern, they're mixing up by doing, it's not just Zod, but it's like Zod and his kid and his wife.
Hang on. Who's his wife in this book?
Do
you remember?
Hold on a second.
Okay, because there was oh man, Richard Donner and Jeff Johns wrote a book, a Superman book, like years ago, where they had a son and Superman had to take this kid, like take the kid away to save him, and then put him in like the Phantom Zone or something.
Yeah, well, then it's probably off that because basically what happened is they all got out of the Phantom Zone together.
Oh, see, that's what I'm talking about. DC, like shit that happened like 6 years ago, still like, like just to like, for me, that's like,
I won't say anymore because see, they don't say their name, but this is, I don't know if it'll show up. That's her though. Like that's them.
I don't remember who his. Can't remember who his lady friend used to be.
I feel like maybe there's like a Z in the name. Like it starts with a Z. I want to say like Zora or something.
So they all have like a some similar sounding name.
But my issue is like this, like he's pretty badass in the Green Lantern books. And like I said, they have to be building up to some sort of arc because this book is like him, his kid, his wife, and they're like out of the Phantom Zone. But Green Lanterns is like just him out of the Phantom Zone, and the rest are in the Phantom Zone still.
Oh man, I gotta
But I was saying it's a piss off because then like action, like Zod is in this as well. But
that looks like a totally different, like a younger version or something.
That's Zod's kid.
Oh, okay.
Like, So they're doing all these things where, like, so Green Lantern, you're reading about Zod's kid as a kid. Superman, Action Comics, it's Zod's kid as he's older. But, like, in Superman, it's normal Zod. And Green Lanterns, it's normal.
Is it the same kid or different?
Yeah.
Oh, this is weird.
Yeah. Well, it's because Action Comics is doing this long-ass arc of Superman teaming up with Booster Gold.
Oh, that's so cool. Why would Superman... that would benefit nobody but Booster Gold.
No, it doesn't at all. So the only theory I've come up with is like that movie is fully going ahead, and they're like, because the story could have been done. What?
I like when Superman teams up with like Black Canary and just like the lamest characters. Like, why? Like, you're there to help them. Superman doesn't need to team up with anybody.
Well, it's like really like they've made it like kind of like silly because it's like, and like fun silly because it's like Superman's just like a total doofus in it, and so Booster Gold like looks like the smart one.
Really?
Even though he's like just being he's always just like, oh, I'm just doing this like for the fame.
Yeah, I always thought like Booster Gold was kind of like just like a Fonzie kind of guy, just like a cool guy that just like got a lot of money and found a super suit and just like, yeah,
essentially,
I'll fight crime.
Hey. But it's really weird because like the story is like literally a 2-issue story, and I think that we're on like the 5th or 6th issue. They're just like really dragging the story out.
I don't like.
I mean, it's been all right because they're doing like time jumping. It's a cool premise. Essentially, they Booster Gold and Superman steal the Flash's like thing that he goes back in time on. That's like in the tower.
Is that the cosmic treadmill?
Yeah, like they steal it, and then they're like just jumping like back and forth in all these times, and just Superman's like fucking all the timelines up.
That's funny.
It's just like, and like I said, it's super funny because it's just Booster Gold being like, Superman, you can't like do this because you're gonna mess it up. And Superman's like, I have feelings. Like, I just want to be happy.
People.
Sadly, I'm not reading Supergirl, but
that I still pick that up. I haven't read it in a while. It started turning into. Is basically turning into the show.
Yeah,
I really liked what they did with her, like in the New 52, where she couldn't really speak English and she was just like scared. Like she comes to Earth and immediately like the army's shooting at her, and it's just like she just hated she hated humans, and it was just so good.
Yeah, I dropped that I think early. I think I went to 13. And I just keep saying when I see in the dollar bin, I'll pick it up. I ended up dropping quite a few DC because I ended up dropping I dropped Titans and Teen Titans.
I look back at all these books and I have all these like fond feelings of them, but I'm sure if I went back and read them, like, oh, this is just garbage. Like,
I enjoyed Teen Titans because like the art was because they did like an anime art for it. So it's a good book. I just dropped those simply because I was like, I need to drop books. I lucked out too that I got that freaking issue that for some reason people pay $50-$60
for Teen Titans.
Yeah, what is it like? Teen Titans 12. It's like first appearance of like Batman, the Man Who Laughs, or whatever. Jeez. And like, I read that issue. That issue sucks. It's terrible. And I'm like, if I had to pay $60 for this, I'd be pissed.
Yeah. Is it like just the appearance of a character, or is it the artwork, or?
It's like, you know who I'm talking about, right? Like the Joker Batman character from Dark Metal that everyone like.
Yeah.
Soft to. Like that.
That's the one with like the big crazy smile.
Yeah, I always say it looks like a Hellraiser or something.
Yeah.
But like that's where apparently that and like another book share like the first appearance. So that
Did you
book,
ever
like
watch? Did you ever
what?
watch that anime, that Neon Genesis Evangelion? Where
I saw, yeah.
there's like towards the end, like the show's like totally fucked up, but I think in one of the movies they do like these, just for anybody that's never seen the show, it's like um how do I dumb it down? It's like big robots, but anyways, there's these mass produced robots that are like totally like they don't have to have a pilot in them, but they have like these really creepy smiley faces with these big red lips, and it's like totally creepy. But that's what that reminds me of. I totally
Yeah,
went on a weird tangent there, but
I liked it.
totally was.
People go batshit for that Dark Knights. I guess I don't want to judge it because I didn't read it.
Yeah.
So I read the one shot, like I read that one shot of the Batman Man Who Laughs, just because I like that cover with all the demon Damian Waynes on the chains.
Yeah.
And I
The
bought the Hawkman one. The Hawkman one was stupid. I should have known that when I picked it up.
I bought the Green Lantern one where it's like
Yeah, I wanted to
I
get
feel
that.
like
My shop didn't have it.
the that's the only one I got just because it was Green Lantern, and I just happened to be there when they had, I think it was the last copy they had. I was like, oh shit, I buy everything that has a Green Lantern on it, by the way. Even though I don't read it all, but yeah.
Yeah,
That's
no,
I don't know anything about that tie-in because that's the only thing I bought from it.
yeah, like I guess I don't know. Maybe they would have had more weight with me if I read like the actual series. I don't know. Like everything, it's just a money grab. Like I see they've already announced that they're gonna do like a whole line of books now after the event. Like so they
Oh,
changed
sorry.
Knights to like KNIGHT. So you're gonna
Jeez.
have all these different series of like characters.
Weird.
Yeah,
Whatever, man. Whatever sells, I guess.
I'm interested to see how it goes because so they'll have those books, they'll have their normal books, and then they'll have all those books that are coming out now, like the all those new characters like Damage and the Silencer or whatever they're called. I don't
We're
know.
the silence. We're going back into the '90s where, remember when like in the '90s everybody had an X in their name. Or just weird. Lots of
Everybody gets a
comics.
book.
Yeah, everything was extreme.
that's
Couches.
that's essentially where DC is right now. What do
No,
you go ahead?
like when you were talking about Teen Titans, like I know a lot of, like I don't really care about Teen Titans at all. I never watched the cartoon or read any of the other books, but like when the new 52 Teen Titans came out, I thought that was so awesome. I thought that was it was a dumb book, but it was fun.
Yeah, well, and see, that's why I like I enjoyed the normal Titan series is a little more serious because it's
Is
all
that the
that
one with
wonder
Nightwing in it?
what?
Is that the one with Nightwing in it?
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, Nightwing's in it, so that one's like a little darker, and they're all like a little older. But like
I
Teen
don't.
Titans one was fun. It's like Damien being an asshole to everyone, and they make
Yeah.
fun of him. And
Yeah. What characters are in that book now?
uh, who's in it? That one's like Damien, Starfire, Beast
Like
Boy.
like the no, like Wonder Girl, like the normal.
No, I don't think Wonder Girl's in Teen Titans. Wally West,
Oh, okay.
Raven, and Aqualad.
Uh See, like in the new 52 Teen Titans, they had that character, that purple dude, like Bunker, I think his name was, and he could like he kind of had like the Green Lantern powers, but he could just make like purple blocks kind of thing. Like I thought that guy was cool, and then he just like I don't know, they must
And
have
they
killed
just
him off
ditched
or
him.
something.
Yeah, no, I stopped reading them. Like I said, I managed to pick up that issue, but I didn't even read that far. I think I only got to like 10 because I know I was very interested to see what the internet's that's my like country slang, what that internet's is doing. What I was interested to see how the internet was going to complain but no one said anything because the Teen Titans, I think like issue 6 or 7, they brought in Aqualad and they changed his origin so that he's actually gay.
I don't understand that. Like, why does everybody have? They always like. Why does everybody have to be gay? Like,
It was
Teen
like
Titans always has to have a gay character in it. Bunker was gay, I think.
they made it so he was gay, and it was actually like it was the story was like kind of funny because he was gay and he had a boyfriend, but his boyfriend was like right off of the mountain, and his like they were like his family wasn't having any of that.
Yeah.
They were just like pure like country hicks, and they were just like hiding it. But I don't even know where I stopped reading it. Like I don't even know if they go any more into it or
I was.
it's just totally different. Like they just read it as origin because basically they did it so it's like Aqualad just found out like he's Aqualad and he has these powers.
Okay, weird.
So yeah, I don't know.
I always I remember when like the New 52, like Earth 2, when they made Alan Scott gay, everybody was all like up in arms and that. Like, why do people care so much? This is like the Green Lantern that he's not even the Green Lantern Corps member, and he's like his weakness is wood, which I thought was really weird about him being gay. But and then it's like I wasn't mad about that. I was just like, well, what about like I want like Obsidian and Jade to come back, and like those are his kids, and I guess that's not gonna happen now.
Yeah,
because they like de-aged them all. They were like early 20s.
Oh yeah.
But then the New 52 is like its own separate universe and whatever. So
yeah, you don't have to worry about it now because the Watchmen are taking care of it.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened with that. That was like
I'm reading Doomsday Clock. I haven't read issue 3 though because I forgot to pick it. I gotta pick it up.
All I know is like there was something about Wally West, and then Batman finding the pin with the blood spatter on it. I'm like, oh god, poor like Alan Moore is just like he's just in a dark corner somewhere. Like fucking DC, like, my fucking characters.
Like I
won't let Watchmen go.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I didn't hate issue 1, but John, like we'll see what Johns does. I have faith in Johns. I hate that they're stretching it out now that they like announce it's gonna be bi-monthly. Because he's like, oh, we need more time to like do it. But it's like issue 2 and 3, I didn't think were very good. Like,
yeah,
they're still being really like they're really not letting you know still what like is even going on. So this better be a good reveal.
Yeah.
Pissed. Where are you? What are you reading from Image? Are you still reading anything?
Actually, nothing like really new, but I was prepared. I brought some stuff. Show and tell time.
Show and tell.
What I've been reading lately. Started reading this again. Just getting my dose of black science.
I was like just talking about that book because I dropped it at like issue 15 because I was like I'm gonna buy it in trade or hardcover.
Well, I dropped it. It was at that point where it's just like, oh man, like there's just so much stuff coming at me, and I think Image books were like $5 at the time, and yeah, like that book is it's so badass. It reminds me of do you remember that show Sliders?
Yeah.
It reminds me of that, but like just completely insane.
It's a really good book.
Oh, it's so good. I've got the two. I think they're reprinting the first volume, but the second one just came out recently, like the big hardcover.
Yeah.
So like, I'm obsessed with those books. I dropped Saga. I'm getting the big ass hardcovers.
I tried. I was even gonna sell my entire run, and I just like started shaking. I was like, I can't. I was like, I'm already committed like 50 issues in. So
You know what's sad is like a book like Saga, where like I just feel like everybody was talking about it, but like you can't find issues of it anywhere. Like an issue will come out, like try buying an issue below issue 20. Like I dare you to find one.
and I always think it's really weird because every time I go into my shop, there's always a ton still on the shelf, but
Really?
I never see the back issue, like, because they'll put them in the back issue bin after like 2 weeks. I never see them there. So
Yeah,
like
like
someone's got to be buying them.
that's the same with me. Like I've got all these issues, and I'm just like, I've got these like really badass hardcovers. Like for half a second, I went totally insane. I was like, you know what? Like I'm cleaning up. Maybe I'll just throw them in the garbage. And I'm like, no, stop it. Like, don't do it. It's an image book. You can't do it.
See, because that's what happened to me is when I was moving, I was like, I'm gonna sell my image runs and I'm gonna convert to like the trades or the hardcovers, and I'm only gonna buy image in trade or hardcover.
Yeah.
But
Well,
then it was like, uh,
yeah, like the sad thing too is like if it's an image book and it's popular, they make these badass hardcovers, and they're expensive. Like this was like $50, but it's still cheaper than if you bought all the issues. Like this is I think this is 3 story arcs. Like
yeah,
in one book. Like it's just
they're so nice.
so
See,
good.
I double dip with Saga and trade just because my wife she likes Saga, but she doesn't like single issues.
Yeah.
She'd rather read the trade. So,
Yeah.
I'll buy the trades, and my shop always has the trades on sale for like $3.
Oh, yeah, that's a good deal.
Oh, you listen, you would have a heyday. Because the warehouse does trade deals, and it's like 40% off cover price, or no, 40% off the sticker price.
I
So
shouldn't
like,
even I shouldn't even be in a place like that.
oh, neither should I. It's terrible because I collect all those shitty Marvel Classic trades
Yeah.
that are like what $50 price point, and they
Yeah.
always have them stickered for $4.99, and then I get 40% off $4.99. So I pay like $2 for like what is it? I showed it off. I did a video last night, but I bought this like random one of Omega the Unknown. I don't even know who it was, but
What
Canadian price of $48,
what
and
an
I
accurate
paid
subtitle.
$2. It's actually pretty good. It's I think it's like the guy that made Howard the Duck. Is it like Steve Gerber or something?
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
The guy that created this character is Steve Gerber. I only thought about that because in the introduction they're talking about how he was writing Howard the Duck, and
yeah.
like since that was a hit, he was like, "Can I make this character?" And they were like, "Sure."
This guy's on fire. Hire him immediately.
And I like it. Like it's literally like this guy just did LSD and made a book. Like the book's like really existential. It makes no sense. There's like hardly any like fighting or anything. It's like
a Grant Morrison book where it's like all in their head and it gets in your head and
it's
you don't know what's real anymore.
like there's Omega and there's this kid on Earth, and the kid is Omega, but Omega is the kid, but they're two separate people. And like when one's doing something, the other one just like blacks out and just like stands there, but they don't know what's going on. And like,
Crazy.
and it's like this kid is like autistic or something. Like, he's like this like super genius, and he like he talks like a bishop android. Like he like only uses like 10-syllable words.
Does he do the knife thing between his fingers really fast?
But yeah, it's like really bizarre, but it's a good read so far.
That's awesome.
And I want. What else are you getting? I want to see what else you're getting. You said you were gonna show off, man.
Yeah, and another one I bought was this bad boy Defender. I bought this one on Amazon just based on the description of it alone about like I guess like robots came in and like took out Earth. And
you haven't read it yet, have you?
I haven't read it yet. No. I like literally just got this a couple days ago.
Yeah, I pulled up to I think issue 17, and I dropped it when I moved because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it.
Yeah,
and I was like, I'm going to convert it, but I gotta suck it up and go buy the trades. It's so good.
I saw the trades. Like how many? They never tell you how many issues are in the book, but
you're gonna make.
I've been seeing the individual trades pop up, and it's like same thing where I'd see them for like $5 each. I'm like, like I don't want trade paperbacks anymore. I want like cool hardcovers, and I held out and got this one.
I was convinced. I was like, no, I'll stick to trades, but of course now I'll just tell my wife that the LEU. It's like, oh, those hardcovers. It's like that Saga hardcovers. I'm like, they look so nice.
I love the covers on those ones too, where it's like it's just the first volume. It's just like a giant tit on the cover. I'm like, this is insane. And then the next book is like a kid with her finger like knuckle deep up her nose. I'm like, what the fuck is? I don't know what they're gonna do for the third volume.
You're oh my god. Well, we will do another live feed when you read Descender because I already know you're gonna freak. Like it's literally like reading an adult Astro Boy.
Oh god!
Like it's like everything that's amazing about Astro Boy, and then just add like people's arms getting like cut off.
Yeah. Oh man. Actually, like I've got 4 books here total, and they've all got this weird like sci-fi like robot-y theme to them. I was gonna say like I was aware of the art of this book before I bought this. It's just not my style. Like
yeah, see, I'm
super excited to read it, and like I'm not like I'm not like the snob. Like this art, like I could never produce anything like this in my life, but it's just not my style.
I'm a big Lemire fan, so I liked it. But I think it's really weird that it's not Lemire drawing it, and it's like a guy that just draws like Lemire.
I almost would have preferred if he drew his own book, but yeah, what's his name? Dustin Nguyen or something? Yeah, like I think he did like didn't he do like a Batman book for a little bit? And I swear he did. I thought he did a Batman book for a bit, but it's almost like some editor made him like tighten up his style a bit. Where like this is just like it's like he penciled in a page, and then he's like, oh shit, yeah, I gotta color it, and it's just like he's like bleeding over the lines, or like things aren't filled in correctly. Like that is just there's a part of that in my brain that just isn't right.
It's like I've always said it's like a very unrefined Lemire style.
Yeah, a little bit.
You'll get over it. It's that good that you'll get over
it. Yeah, I'm totally excited to read these. Another one I got this one a while ago just because the movie trailer came out, but I got the Battle Angel Alita hardcover.
I don't know how that is. That trailer looks incredible.
Have you read this before? Or
no.
It's fucking it's insane, man. Like how violent. It's just this cute little robot girl, and she I think in the second or third issue, she gets her arms ripped off, and it's insane. Yeah, it's so there's definitely like a lot of weird stuff in it where they're gonna have to like tone it down for the movie, but like the movie, it's not an action, like the trailer is not action packed, but just like the quick glimpses, they don't show you really anything in the trailer, and I'm like so excited for it because it's like, ooh.
They got like some good actors for that movie too. Like I was like, this is like big time.
It's and like this, just like the effects are like, it's crazy. Like, oh man, yeah. Just when I was watching that trailer, and I'm like, I remember, I never read when they originally translated it to English. I remember there was like an anime movie that was like super violent. I think it's on YouTube actually, but I never read the book. Shit, where was I going with this? I totally just had a major brain fart. Anyway, yeah, I think I remember people like with the trailer, people are like, "Why are her eyes so big?" And like it's so weird. Like, well, first of all, like she's a robot, and like that's exactly how she looks in the book. Like, see if I can. I don't know. She's got everybody else is very like Americanized, or I don't know how to. It's not like typical anime looking people in the book, and then it's just like she kind of like she's got these big wide eyes, and I don't know. I think it's gonna be cool.
I think it looks badass.
That trailer, I was watching that trailer, and it's like it's starting off. It's like not really action packed, and then that one dude like where it's just his face, and the rest is just machine, and just like grabs her by the throat, and she throws it, like smashes him into the table. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be so cool.
Yeah, I was like, oh man.
She looks way more of a badass in the movie than she starts out like when they build her, it's like they build her out of like shitty, like basically building her out of like Legos, like she's all fragile and stuff, and then like they give her like this badass body. Kind of like Mega Man. Cool. Yeah, so that's been really cool. Like super violent. Like if you can get a hold of that anyway, like
I'm sure I can. I have to
definitely check that one out.
What
this other one. Have you?
I've heard it.
Like weird manga now. I don't really read a lot of this stuff. Like Blame it's weird, man. They don't. This is volume 2. They make these like big ass like giant hard or big paperbacks now. It's a weird. It's fucked up, man. Like I don't even know how to. Basically, like the I'm not even sure if they're on Earth. I'm assuming they're on Earth, but like the whole planet is just covered in like abandoned. It's almost like, you know, in like the Matrix, when like the whole planet is just covered in like machines and just shit everywhere, and you can't see the sky. Like that's that's like what the world is here, and like human beings. I don't even know like in what time in the future it takes place. Like, but there's all these like little groups of people have like broken away from each other, and like I guess they've like evolved. Like some, I don't even know if they're human. Like some of these people are even human anymore. Like you get like really weird short people, and then like insanely like 15 feet tall people, and it basically it's just it's this guy trying to find a human being that has something called like a net terminal gene in their body. You need this gene in your body to like access like the internet, or whatever they call the internet in this book. But that's, if you can access that, you can like stop all the machines from trying to like, they keep building shit on this planet, and if they see anything alive, they just immediately kill it. And I don't even know, like it's fucked. Like there's almost no story to this book, and I'm totally not selling it very well. It's just a guy with this badass gun. It's like a gravitational beam gun or something. He shoots it, and whatever is in the path is just immediately vaporized. So like I want to see if I can. The artwork in it is absolutely insane. Like the robots that are in this book are like nightmare fuel, where they've got like these like really like almost like a Cabbage Patch doll face, but it's just like spikes and sharp shit, and they've got like their arms and feet are just knives and like praying man, like they dice things up. It's such a violent book. And it's just this guy going on his little adventure. He doesn't even really say anything. There's almost no dialogue except for like if supporting characters show up. Like people die all the time. There's like deaths in every book. It's so violent and it's so good. It's just I'm
sold.
If you're into like just creepy sci-fi, like just if you're into artwork and just being dropped into this world where you don't even know what the fuck is going on, it's so as long as you're not, if you're not looking, like this is only volume 2. I think there's 5 or 6 volumes of it. As long as you're not like expecting answers right away, you're just like going for the ride. It's so there's this
I saw someone.
What's that? Sorry?
I was just saying, I saw someone commented in the comments, "Hello, Robotech," and he said that he asked, "Is there an anime based on this on Netflix?"
So I was just gonna say that there is a movie that's loosely based on events that happen in it's not an adaptation of the book. They take a popular or like a really well done story arc in that series and they condense it a bit and throw it and make a movie out of it. So you basically get the movie. It's I'd give the movie, like if I said the book was like 5 out of 5, if I gave it a rating or whatever, if I said it was perfect, the movie would be like, I'd give it like a 3.5 out of 5. Like it's good, but they try to crunch in like a lot.
Yeah.
You're not going to get any answers in the movie. You just kind of plopped in. The main character has this little like robot, like she's not little, but he finds this like robot partner and she like gets a new body and everything. Like that whole plot point is in the movie and it's done I think it's done better in the movie. It's more condensed in the movie and there's a bit of a like, oh, she's a machine, do we trust her kind of thing. Like they drag that out a bit more in the book where you're like, oh shit, she keeps fucking disappearing and like the whole series is like, you don't fucking trust robots. You kill robots. If you see them, you kill them immediately or you run. Whatever you can do first. But it's just I don't even. The story is so minimal. I don't even know how to describe it. It's just if you're into like these batch of books that I just like showed you, if you're even remotely into any of that stuff, like you'll love. I think you'll love that. The artwork in it is when there's action scenes and there's just shit like it's so frantic. I'm like reading it. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like it's so insane. You just see like you'll see like it's just like weird anime stuff where like the robots with the big blade arms are just like slashing through people and it's just like there's all these like dark like action lines and like a guy's head from his jaw is just getting like separated from the it's just like it's so violent, so good. I'm a very passionate man about that book. I think it's just it's so good. I want to read it right now. It's so good.
You should just read it while just don't leave and we'll just keep it on while you read it.
I can't even like it's not and the weird thing too is I don't even see, to me a good book is like I don't necessarily remember everything that I read. but like the way I felt, I'll never forget that. And it's just like the way I felt after like reading volume 1. It's just like I instantly like read the last page. I'm like, I tell my wife, I'm like, we have to go to the bookstore right now. I need volume 2. Like, we're going today.
I'm the exact same way. Like, I'll read something, especially if it has like more than one volume, and like don't ask me what happened in like volume 1, but like I know that when I read volume 1, I was like, what?
Yeah. And that's a feeling I have not gotten from Marvel or really DC in like many years. So it's
I agree with that. I literally I get my fix. I get my fix with Valiant. That's where I get that.
Yeah.
Marvel and DC can't make me feel like Bloodshot.
Is Exo Manowar still is he still around?
Oh yeah, they're going. Oh man, Exo Manowar. I think is. I don't even know that first volume when they did like that whole relaunch stuff. Like, I think that went like the trade paperbacks are in like 13 or 14. But I think they ended up like doing a volume 2.
Oh, is that right?
But like reboot. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. See, my thing is I don't even mind, like, because Bloodshot, I like how this is my thing, is I almost wish I just collected Valiant in singles, because then I'd probably be happy and organized. Because what I like about Valiant is like any events, you don't have to read anything to jump into an event, and B, the events are tied into themselves and only themselves. There's no tie-in issues. Like, so the event has its own series and that's it. So, yeah, I think that's what I think about that. Although I do feel like I think Matt's very frozen. Oh, there he is again.
I don't know what happened there for a sec. I like lost internet. That's weird.
I thought you were just like really into the story.
Whatever you're
like,
saying.
I'm not gonna blink. I'm not gonna move.
So intense.
Yeah. I was just saying that like it's self-contained. So like the events have their own, like they usually go 4 issues. You don't have to read any tie-ins or 0 tie-ins. They don't do anything like that. And you can jump in on an event and not even know what's going on.
That's awesome.
And that's why, and that's what they've got down, I think, is that like what older comic book collectors always complain about. Because it's like Bloodshot. Like, I can read all Bloodshot and I don't ever have to read another title because it's only in Bloodshot.
Yeah.
It never affects another book. And like when they did the relaunch, like, because like the first volumes of Bloodshot were really good when they did the relaunch, but then they did like the Bloodshot Reborn, like Jeff Lemire started writing it, and it was incredible. And I think they did it properly, where they told you enough. They told you enough that you didn't have to reread it, but they also kept it so you didn't feel like that was all garbage, which is amazing. Like my bookshelf now is pretty much all Valiant trades.
So weird, eh? Like, just to see Valiant, like where they are now and where they were before.
I was talking with a friend of mine, though. We're getting kind of scared with the with that like buyout. I'm afraid they're going to get their money on.
About that.
So basically, this company has owned like 51% of Valiant for like ever since after the 90s.
Yeah.
And basically, they're like an entertainment company. So they were the ones that helped them broker like the movie deal that they've been getting.
Yeah.
They announced last week that they bought out the rest of the company, so they own 100%. And they claim they're not going to touch the comic aspect, but they were like, we bought it out because we want to like really push TV and movies for these characters. So we'll see if that like hopefully it doesn't affect the storytelling.
I'd love to see an Exo Manowar movie. That'd
You're
be
gonna
so
get
cool.
it. Well, they get the one of the deals is like their deal is for Exo Manowar movie because it's like
Uh,
Bloodshot, Exo Manowar, and like I think Ninjak is like the other character
oh man,
that they
I
have like
guess
the 3 movie deal with.
that's crazy.
And then they have like that. Did you ever see like the trailer for the web series? I think that comes out like next month. They did a
No,
self-funded web series called Ninjak versus the Valiant Universe.
really?
Yeah, the guy that plays the Green Power Ranger, like Tommy,
Yeah,
he's playing Bloodshot in it.
really?
And he looks pretty tough too. And
That's
it's
awesome.
the guy that plays Deathstroke in the Arrow TV show. He's playing Ninjak.
Nice.
And I think they got like someone else of like mediocre 90s TV fame. But I saw the trailer, like they have a whole like 2 minute trailer of just like them fighting each other, and it looks pretty tough. Like the graphics are like super. We paid like $100 for these graphics, but I like it. It essentially just looks like a giant fan made web series.
That's awesome.
But I'm like I'm all about it.
I should check that. Yeah, I'll check that out.
I highly suggest it. Are you
Uh,
uh are you still reading like your Grimm stuff?
no, so like Wonderland ended and then I just kind of gave up after that. The the best thing about that, like my favorite thing was everything, like the premise of everything sounded really cool and you get like really badass cover artwork, but then it's just like the stories aren't very good or they would drag them out and they get
Yeah.
like you know, paid the guy $100 to draw like 6 issues and it's just like like
Yeah, they were never like because I only read like I pull everything that's Wizard of Oz themed. Like I have all the Oz theme stuff.
I was really into Oz. I bought the first two, like volume 1 and volume 2 in hardcover. I bought volume 1 in single issues as well, but it's just like, like it's just
Yeah.
I
I've
want to
got the
love it and I just don't love it.
one shot on order. I think that comes out like next week or something because they did a new one shot for it.
Yeah.
But I think after that, I was like, I think I'm just like it. I picked up a really cheap trade. Like I got it for like $4. It's like Salem. It's like based off the Salem witch trials.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh shit. What was that called?
I think it
Um.
was just like that mini series. I don't know if it went any further.
Yeah. I was following all that stuff at one point.
I only thought
I
about
found,
what were you saying?
no, I was just sorry. I was just gonna say I find like the way they do their trades. Like if you miss an issue of that series, you're like totally screwed because like you can't order it again. They only produce so many copies, and then if you wait for the trade, there's like those one shots that you were talking about that they don't put in the trades, and they're like totally critical to the book. They
Yeah,
did that with Wonderland a bunch of times, where like even when they did that big limited edition omnibus, there's there's um there's a one shot that connects the miniseries to the ongoing that you almost have to read, and they still didn't reprint that issue. It's like so, like this is like the third or fourth time they've like printed these books, and they still won't add this damn issue. So annoying. I think they did the. I'm pretty sure they did that with Oz as well.
but I just sorry, I saw that Robotech comment in the comments again. He said, "Oh, you're talking about the Battling the Sun web series."
Is that what it is? That what that is?
Maybe,
The
maybe,
Italian one?
maybe. I don't know the name of it.
I can't see any of the comments.
Oh, you know what it is? It's because I just opened in another window. Like I
Oh,
have
okay.
the like YouTube running, and then I just
I
muted it.
that Robotech thing. Is that the username?
Yeah,
That's a good username. I've
Robotech 00.
I've been I'm a huge like I liked Robotech when I was younger. I prefer like Macross, like the original anime. Like do you know like that whole thing with Robotech and like this
Like,
company? Do you know anything about that?
yeah, I do. I know a little bit about it.
It basically like Robotech, because I'm gonna go off on a bit of a rant here. Like Robotech, the Americanized Robotech is made of three completely unrelated anime series that they just like redubbed and cut some things out and like added a couple like scenes in. Like this is all back in the 80s, but
Yeah.
they add these three shows together to make Robotech, and this fucking company that owns the first 25 episodes of Robotech are based on this series called Macross, and it's like it's so badass. It's still going on even now, but it's like this company that owns goddamn Robotech won't let the like Macross into the United States or really anywhere else in the world. So it's like there's been all these like badass like Macross shows and video games and comics and like whatever. Like they just this fucking company is just cock blocking this like. So I've just I've been importing a lot of like Macross stuff lately, so it's just like really annoying that I have to get these shitty like bootleg Chinese shit DVDs with English subtitles just so I can watch my precious Macross. And I've been like importing all these like badass Macross PSP games because it's all region. It's none of it's region locked, and I'm like playing robots from like they were like the I'm flying around and transforming ships that were from fucking Robotech, and everything's in Japanese, and god damn it.
I feel like my only real experience, like other than like I think I've seen a couple episodes of Robotech, is it Robotech that I just remember playing the Sega Genesis game, but I don't know if it was Robotech. I feel like
No, yeah, it probably wouldn't have been Robotech.
I just know it was like giant like robots that with like machine guns, and you just like walked around and shot. I don't even know.
There was lots of games.
Or it might have been called like Megatech or like something like that.
Yeah, like maybe like Mech Warrior. Is that what you?
Oh, yeah, something I don't remember. I just remember playing when I was a kid.
Yeah, there. I bought that. Actually, I got it right here. Even bought the
Oh,
little like Super NES Classic. They're finally like you can finally get these things in stores now.
oh,
But
can
like,
you?
yeah,
You don't have
finally.
to pay $200 on Kijiji.
No, like I mean, they're still like $100 retail, but um, the thing with those is like they're super easy to like modify to like they've got like 20 games on there, but there's so much memory on the damn thing. You can add like 300 games to it.
Oh,
So what
nice.
I've been doing is getting all these like the Super Famicom games, like games that have never come here. You can add any ROM you want basically if you're willing to tinker around with it a bit.
Oh, nice.
But like there's like Gundam and Macross games that you can get like fans have gone out and translated these games and you can get the ROMs for them.
Oh,
I've been like all about Macross lately, so it's like I'm really like fucking
you're passionate.
I'm passionate about it. It's just everything that I like I can't have. I
Oh,
just
there
want
you go. Robotech commented and said, Harmony Good loses the rights next year, so you might get
Oh, is it next
Macross
year?
finally. Yeah.
I've been following this for like there. I think it was like 2 years ago. So the two newest shows were Macross Frontier and Macross Delta, which are like like just amazing. Like the whole premise with Macross is um there's like there's an alien race that comes and wants to like just fuck shit up. And in the original Macross, what happens is like this weird spaceship crash, like the whole planet. There's like World War III kind of stuff. This weird like alien spaceship crash lands on Earth, and everyone's like, "Holy shit, fucking aliens do exist!" And then everybody gets their shit together, and they all like come together, settle their differences. They rebuild this spaceship, and then the day they get it up and running, it like shoots a laser into the sky, and they're like, "Holy shit! Like, what is going on?" And what happened was, like the aliens are coming back to claim this fucking ship, but the Macross, the thing that crashed into the Earth, like knew they were coming, so it's like, I'm gonna defend myself, and it blew up. Anyways, these aliens come in, and they're humanoids, but they're like 50 feet tall, and it's just like it's so insane, it's so crazy. So this is the whole premise. Like, they're 50 feet tall, so to fight these aliens, they have to make giant mechs that are 50 feet tall to like combat these people. And it just so happens that these mechs also transform into planes and shit. It's so badass. But what they find out is that these aliens are weak against like singing. Like, it totally like fucks them up. They don't even know what singing is. They're like, holy, like the sounds, and it's just, it fucks them up. So the humans are able to like beat them away, and like they win the war or whatever. But each series is basically that premise. Like, an alien comes in, and it's all like it's not like standalone shows. It's like one is like whatever time period, and then the next one's like 10 years later, and then 30 years later, and it keeps going.
Okay.
So in the original, it's like, oh, singing beats these aliens. So by the time you get to the newest show, there's like squadrons of people that just go around singing songs. It's really silly, but it's like squadrons of people in like mech suits that sing to combat these aliens, and it's just like, it's so crazy. Where was I going with this? Fuck.
I understand your love of Pacific
It's
Rim
such
now.
it's such a good show, and it's the main thing is you got like aliens and transforming mechs and like singing and like love triangles, and it sounds really sappy, but it's really badass, and just, it's so good. I love that series. I don't really watch anime a lot. I love Gundam and Macross, and it's good stuff, man. This is where I was going. So I remember a couple years ago. Sorry. I got a lot to say, and I can't remember everything I want to say. I remember like an April Fool's article where they were going to take Harmony Gold was. It was a fake article, but I didn't know that at the time. It was fucking fun by April Fools. But to keep the rights to Robotech, or keep the rights to Macross, they were going to take Macross Frontier and Macross Delta, the newest shows, bring them over and fucking edit the shit, like cut them all up, edit them to make it fit with their shitty bastardized version of Macross that ties in with the other fucking shows that don't relate. And I was like, what the like, no, like, no, stop doing this to me. Like, just anyway. So if they're actually losing the rights in the next couple of years, like,
You're okay
there's
with
going to be
that?
this flood of Macross stuff coming in. I'm going to be so excited. I just want it in English, man. I don't know how they're going to do it, because there's lots of songs and stuff in it. So I don't know how they're going to like. I just want. They don't even have to translate it. Just give me like. I just want Blu-ray quality. Just give me subtitles. Just give me Blu-ray quality. I'll be happy. I have to go on eBay and buy these shitty like Malaysian bootleg DVDs where it's like 50 episodes on 2 DVDs, and it's so compressed, and it just I have no other way of getting this stuff, and it's just
This is like the plea of a desperate man.
Do you see my heart breaking? I'm pouring my soul out. Just give
Robo
me 32 years old, and I'm fucking bitching about a cartoon with robots in it.
Robotech wants to know if you're reading the really bad Robotech series from
I
Titan
am,
Comics.
and you know what? That's enough. Yeah. So, this is so what they're trying to do is like what it seems like they're trying to like make like a gritty reboot of like the Robotech cartoon, but it's like the artwork is just it's published by Titan Comics, and they're kind of like they're getting really big, but they're not getting very good artists. So it's like this thing that I notice is like whoever's drawing this book cannot draw faces. Like the faces are all butchered up, and like the way they draw teeth is really annoying to me, where they draw like big thick black lines between each tooth, and it's just like this is how like a child would draw teeth.
I don't think. What's their bait? Like Assassin's Creed is their big thing, and Doctor Who.
Yeah, so I know they have Assassin's Creed. They've got like the Warhammer 40,000
Okay.
as well, and I think they've got a couple other. I mean, it's a really big company, but it's just that
I've read a series by them. I can't remember. I can't remember what it's called. I really it was like that series that was about like the like this sex disease, like the superpowers. And that was Titans. And it was like you got this like sexually transmitted disease and you got superpowers, but like the deal was like you get these superpowers, but you only have like 6 months to live.
Jesus.
And like everyone gets different ones. They ended up doing like 2 series, and it's just like basically this like I just remember it was like a character that was based off of Russell Brand. It's like this comedian, like British comedian, gets these powers, and then he just like blows up like the royal family like brutally, and he's just like, I run the world now, and he's like a sex addict, and
it kind like that sounds insane and kind of cool.
It was really good. And then I remember they did like because that one was more Americanized because he like blew up the royal family, but then he like went to America and he's like, I'm about to fuck your shit up too. And then they did a second series that was like whatever the title of it was, and then it was like London as the subtitle. And it was like I think it went to like 6 issues, and like it was in the middle of the story arc, and then they never made another one, and that was like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that reminds me of another kind of book. They like Grimm Fairy Tales did they did that book Fly that was kind of like that, but instead of like the disease, it was like a drug. So this one like just like a couple of outcasts in high school decide to try this weird drug, and they get like basically Superman powers. And it just like totally fucks their lives over. But the one girl gets like totally addicted to it, and she turns into like an insane psychopath and just murdering people. And then yeah, it gets crazy. But then I didn't end up. I think there's 3 volumes, and I only read the first 2. So I don't. She like dies in the. I think she dies in volume 1, and then the bad guy from volume 1 turns into a good guy in volume 2, and the good guy turns into the bad guy. But then all the covers had her on the cover in volume 2, but she was dead. But it's just because Grimm Fairy Tale, she had big titties, and they had to, make you buy the book, and it was just
that's every book from Grimm.
Yeah, all they can do is oh man, what's his name? What's his name? The oh my god, what's his name? Help me here.
I don't know.
I don't even know. He doesn't even draw books anymore. He does like all these like he's just like a cover artist now. Shit, I can't remember his name. This is gonna bug me. And what's sad is I've got books that he's drawn, like
Cover it's like popular.
what's his name? Ah,
Not
he
actors.
did like he used to draw like Gen 13 back in the day.
Oh, oh, now this is gonna kill me.
I think
Um,
it's like three. Oh my god, why am I hang on. You know what? I got my phone in front of
yeah,
me.
I'm literally like,
I'm standing in front of the internet and I give me a
you gotta learn.
second.
You gotta learn how to use that internet, man. J.
uh,
Scott Campbell.
what's that?
J. Scott Campbell.
Hey, Scott Campbell, there you go. Jesus, why
There's
was that so hard?
anything that, like how many angry comments we'll probably like
I
get
know.
because
Sorry about that.
the internet loves J. Scott Campbell. Look,
I love J.
Robotek
Scott
said in the
Campbell.
comments, he's like J. Scott Campbell. If I had to just
Um,
look, I
he like that dude, like, you know, the way that guy draws women, I don't know how you could be like a warm blooded, you know, man and not get a little tingly. You know what I'm saying?
I know what you're
But like
saying.
that, like Grim Fairy Tales, like that whole or Zenoscope, that company like just hires him just to draw cover art, and that like that's all it takes to like sell books. It's just it's crazy. Fuck, where
Yeah,
did
I thought about
how did we get to this point?
it was because yeah, I don't know. We talked. What's going on with life?
we went from like Robotech to like J. Scott Campbell. I don't know what happened. Hey,
The only reason I thought about it was because when I was at the warehouse sale, I thought it was really weird. They literally had 2 long boxes of nothing but Grim Fairy Tales. And that
you
I
know,
think that's the first time I've ever seen that stuff in the wild.
yeah, like I don't usually see back issues of any of that stuff.
It was like literally like I think it was like almost the full run. And
Yeah.
and then they had a bunch of the mini series and stuff, like the Robin Hood stuff. And I
Some
just
of
thought it was
the
funny because no one, like, people would look at it and they're like, and they like, no one touched it.
it's so manipulative. Like you look at the covers and just the way like everything's just like lady with big titties and the titties are falling out of her shirt and it's like it's so manipulative. Cuz you know like if you're like a guy, like there's a part of your brain that's like I kind of want to get this, but like I shouldn't get this. Just, some of the books are like they're actually really good. It's just I don't know, it's they seem to like that's just the way they are. That's their image, and it's just I don't know. It's kind of sleazy.
Yeah, well, and like you said, like my problem with it is like anything. The only one I still get is Grim Fairy Tales, like the anthology, the horror one,
Yeah,
and I like that because I mean, like, it's just an anthology book, so it's like one shot. I get like my horror dose, but like anything else, it's like the Oz ones. Like the covers, you're like, okay, cool, but like this,
it's
it
just
wouldn't
not.
even matter how good the art was inside because the stories are terrible.
Yeah, no. But the ideas are really cool. Like the way,
Yeah,
like Red Riding Hood. I think she was like a vamp or like a werewolf or something. Like that was really cool. And actually, I get some of the grim fairy tale stuff and like fables. I get kind of mixed up a bit. But what I remember Hook, like Peter Pan was like the evil piece of shit, and Hook was like the good guy.
yeah, yeah.
Like that was kind of cool. Like that was weird and cool. And Robin Hood was like really depressing, but that was not too bad. Like the story wasn't that bad, but
Did you
or
watch the fan made 10-minute thing?
no.
They advertise it still in like every Xenoscope issue. Like I don't know her because I don't follow cosplay stuff, but I think it's like some big cosplayer. And she did like a 10-20 minute mini movie of Robin Hood,
It's
like on
such
her YouTube channel, and like they average like any Xenoscope book I've got in the last like year or two, they have an ad for that YouTube channel, like to go watch it.
I
It's
remember um like the artwork in that book wasn't even that bad. It's just the main character, like what happens to her is just like it's just like oh, like it's gross reading it, and like she just ends up being this like really angry. Just it wasn't fun to read. It was just kind of depressing. And then that she like and then in the first volume, the guy that kind of like screws her over, like the whole point is to kill this fucker, and he doesn't die at the end, and he ends up being like this huge like just this bad guy throughout the whole series, and he gets like weird powers, and it's just like oh man, I just want this guy to die. It's not fun.
Just please die.
Yeah, it's just it's uh
Yeah.
yeah. They,
I'm trying to think what else. I'm not. Are you still reading East to West?
I'm getting the
Alright,
I haven't been lately. I don't even know what's going on now. I did buy the year 1 and year 2 hardcovers.
Yeah, I think the newest issue I had was 35. I ended up dropping it because I want it. As much as I was like trying to get people buying the issues, like it's such a trade book. I
It's
can't
yeah.
even tell you what happened like 5 issues ago. So
All those Hickman, like even when he did Avengers, like I don't even know how people could follow that in single issues, because it's like 5 issues later things are being referenced from the first issue, but you need it all there in one place to
yeah,
yeah. He's a really good writer. He's just not a writer for single, because he can't, because he doesn't have a beginning, middle, and end to each issue. It's like there's a beginning and middle, end to the whole arc, and it doesn't translate to.
and
It would be like taking like a 2-hour movie and cutting it up into half-hour pieces to put on TV. Like it doesn't make any sense.
yeah, and what he doesn't tell you is that arc is 200 issues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And you don't know. Yeah, you don't know where it's going, or you're just in the. You're just. It's a roller coaster. You just sit in the seat and just go for the ride. You don't know where the hell it's going, or.
I just like, yeah, I felt like I'm gonna have to buy it like in the trade or the hardcovers because I'm reading issue 35 and I'm like, I literally I don't know. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Like you said, like they're referencing stuff in issue 35 from like issue 3, and I'm like, I don't know. Like
Yeah.
that was like 5 years ago.
And even I remember the marketing for that when they were putting it in previews, like the little 3 or 4 page like preview they had in the previews magazine was like they were pulling something out of, like I don't even think it was in the first year of the books.
Yeah.
They were using a character, like this really cool looking character that didn't even appear for the first year. And it's just, I don't know. It's yeah, it's strange. It's a good book. I really like it, but I don't know how. I'm not even sure how that book sold. Like why. It must have sold well enough to make hardcovers for it.
Yeah, honestly, like I'm surprised that they've let him go this long. Because I always feel like you are the only other person I know that reads that. Because anyone else I know is like, oh, like I dropped it after like 5 issues because I didn't know what the hell was going on.
I know. I tried to get a lot of people to read it, and just nobody. They're like, you made me waste money. I'm like, oh, now I feel bad.
Robotech said whatever happened with DC talks with Hickman. I don't. DC would never be able to handle Hickman. I don't think.
You know what he would be good on? Like they keep doing those Earth One books. They need to give him just his own book, like just a self-contained story. Like, look, dude, you got 60 pages. Do it, get it done. Like, no, you're not getting a volume 2 yet.
Yes. Yeah, they have like I gotta pick up some of those hardcovers. I still haven't read any of those Earth One books.
Oh, they're so.
Everyone says they're good.
The Teen Titan one, I think, was the one that I liked the least. Superman, I liked a lot. Batman was pretty good. Wonder Woman was like Grant Morrison wrote that, and that was like he must have been on some medication or something, because he was like really subdued and it wasn't like super weird or anything. I think there's a couple. I think there's 2 volumes of Teen Titans. I don't think I got the second volume. The first one was okay. There's a Green Lantern one coming out this year.
Yeah,
And
I
he's
saw
like, it's Hal
that.
Jordan in like an astronaut suit floating around in space on the cover. I'm like, oh,
Yes, please.
that's gonna be cool. I
Yeah,
hope.
I'm trying to think what else.
I
I don't
can't
think
figure out DC and their multiverse. Like what Earth are we on now? Because it's like I thought like I don't even know what's going on. Like the New 52, I don't know what Earth that is. We've got Earth 1, they had Earth 2, but it what I
I
like the multiverse stuff in DC, but I don't know. Like I don't even understand like what the fuck.
Yeah, I got lost after like the whole like Superman's not Superman. He's like Superman from over here, but then we're gonna take them and like combine them, and they're like their souls are gonna touch, and
Yeah, like that's like I thought like the whole like Supergirl and Power Girl, I thought like that whole thing was really cool where it's like if you just look at that in its own little bubble, it's like and you're not looking at the whole other friggin' multiverse. It's just kind of cool to see like one character was raised one way and one character was raised a different way. It's the same person, but when they meet, they're 2 completely different people. And I always thought that was really cool. But now, like I other than that, like I don't even know like what Earth this one. I don't know. I don't
just
get it.
just go with it, man.
I just go with it.
Just go with
Stop
the
asking
flow.
questions. Just roll with it.
I'm trying to think what
If
else
they
I'm
want you to know, they'll explain it.
sex criminals. That's what else I'm reading from Image. I was like, I knew I was reading something else.
Oh, that's that the Matt Fraction book.
I love that book. I had it on my drop list like last week, and then the new issue came out, and I laughed so hard, and I'm like, there's no way I can drop this.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's so ridiculously unnecessary, but it's like so funny. Like the story's interesting. Like I think he's doing a pretty good job pacing.
The like the whole premise of that book is just like absurd to me. And it's like the weirdest thing. It's like I actually met that guy at Comic-Con and he's like the nicest guy ever. He's like really like normal and kind of dorky looking guy and it's just like writes this like absurd. It's like Mark Miller. Like he's like kick ass and just like this deprived, like wanted it, like it's just deprived and just a terrible, like you think he's just like this terrible piece of shit human being, but he's like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah, I think I just enjoy like they really have like a good back and forth, like him and Chip Zdarsky. So
Yeah,
like they'll always like in the introductions and like the letters, like they just like make fun of each other. So they like write them separately
yeah, that's funny.
and they just like talk shit about each other. Yeah, they're like super funny. Image is like one of those things though. Like I keep saying that I'm going to try to just do trade because I feel that's easier.
It's a gamble though. Like I was going through my collection of books and it's like I'm going what's that show? They did a show that show Dark Matter. Did you ever
Yeah,
watch that?
I didn't watch it, but I heard they did it.
Well, basically, like I've got the mini series that they made like 5 or 6 years ago, and I remember reading that. And it's so badass. And then like apparently they used that comic book as like a pilot to try to like sell this show, and now it's finally a show. But like I was going through that, I'm like, whatever. I remember thinking about that a few years ago. Like, whatever happened to this book? Like, it was so bad. Like, it's like a bunch of like just like these terrible criminals that have their minds wiped or they've got amnesia or something. They can't remember who they are, and they get like shipped off to like they were gonna get shipped off to some prison planet or something, and they crash land on a different planet or whatever happens. They can't remember who they are, but they're all these like terrible like murderers and rapists and just pieces of shit, and they don't remember who they are, and they're trying to like save this village, and they end up becoming like heroes, and it's such a cool idea, and it just never really went anywhere in comics. It's cool. I've never seen any of the show, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Robotech just wrote and said that he thinks it was in the newest issue of Birthright that they announced they're trying to make a TV series of it. I never read Birthright. I know a lot of people that did.
Yeah, no, I didn't either.
All I know is like a lot of people I knew that read it said that if you were into like Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, that it was super badass.
Oh, I'm totally into that.
It's
I
like
like that.
super like mystic, dark arts. I think
Nice.
kind of like
Yeah, I like
fantasy,
that.
epic quest stuff. I was gonna say something else. Got I can't think of what else. Oh, what's it called? The like chilling stories of Sabrina. They're like I heard they started casting.
Oh, is that like the gritty Sabrina reboot?
Yeah, that had like the terrible release schedule.
Yeah.
I pulled issue number 1, and then I think it took them like a year and 3 months to put out issue number 2, and then they apologized and said like they're because I think like Fiona Staples was writing that, and she was essentially just like she was like there's all the like I have so much stuff on the go, and there was all these issues. Sorry, never happened again. And then like issue number 3 came out like 8 months later, and I like at issue 3 I just gave up. And I think they like ended up stopping. I don't even think it's a series anymore because
That's
it took them like 4 or 5 years to put out like 6 issues.
Yeah, I hate when there was I was buying the Mega Man single issues when Archie was doing that as well. I don't even know if that book is still going on, but I dropped the single issues because they were just like it was like it was like a week it felt like a week after like issue 6 came out. It's like boom, here's the trade. I'm like, well, why would I even buy the so I dropped the single issues because I was gonna buy the trades, and now it's like I've been waiting. It's been like 4 years, and like the 8th trade still hasn't come out, and that's the one that's supposed to introduce like Mega Man X, and like that was like the most badass version. Like, damn
Yeah,
it,
I
what
feel
is
like
going
they're not
on?
very good at that because that's like
Archie Comics sucks.
yeah. I was reading Afterlife with Archie, and I'm like, I mean, that sold like crazy. I was like, this is going awesome. And then just one day they stopped making issues of it. And that was like 2 years ago. I don't even think that like the story didn't end. Like they
Yeah,
just stopped. And then they released a bunch of the issues like in magazine format.
that's weird.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, here, like I thought it was like new issues, and I was like, oh, they must switch to magazine. That's pretty sweet. And then no, they were reprinting the other issues, but like I like they just like stopped making it for no reason.
It's like they ran out of money and they're just trying to like churn up a few
Yeah,
more bucks or
and
something.
now there's like 800 Archie books like that. I'm sure no one is reading.
I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand their like. Yeah, I don't understand what's going on over there at that company.
Because what do they got? They have like Archie, they have like Betty and Veronica, they have Jughead, they have the Archies, they have
Well, they had Sonic the Hedgehog, they had Mega Man, and then they had like Mega Man and Sonic. Like that was all separate. Like I don't even know.
yeah, and then like I remember because I remember like it pretty much when they announced that they were gonna start doing Riverdale. I remember like they talked about they were gonna do the Archie superhero universe.
Oh
So
jeez.
it was like the Black Mask and stuff, but like I think those only had a couple issues, and then they just stopped making those as
Yeah,
well.
it's like, it's like they focus on one thing and then it's like ooh shiny, and then they go off and do this. And
Robotech said, as far as Mega Man goes, it ended on issue 51, just after the second crossover with Sonic.
really, oh man, Like, what is going on with these trades? Like, I had they were supposed to have like a Mega Man omnibus come out like 2 years ago. I had it pre-ordered on Amazon, and then like a year later, they email me saying that it got canceled or something. I don't even know what the hell's going
That's the
on anymore.
worst. Your life. What is life?
What is like everything that I love dies or ends.
For some reason,
So I can't have
all I thought about for some reason was like Dumb and Dumber with the bird. That's all I thought.
pretty bird.
It's
Stupid
already
bird
dead. That
its teeth on backwards.
That's what your life's come down to. I don't know. I don't know. Is there anything else you
That
can think of
scene.
exciting? Are you gonna go see
I'm
Black
just thinking of Dumb
Panther?
and Dumber. That scene when he's shitting his brains out into that public toilet, I'm just dying. I still laugh at that.
I remember seeing that movie when it came out. I went with like my mom to go see that.
Oh, I was hysterical. Like oh man.
Mega Man news for you.
Uh-oh.
Robotech said there's a company that's reprinting the Mega Man comics. It's a $7.99 book, I think, for 6 or 8 issues.
Oh, what company is this? Oh, you got to tell me what company this is. I got to look this up. I need to know these things, man.
We'll see if he writes back. You're getting all your Mega Man news.
They announced Mega Man 11, and it like there's like a dozen or so things in my life that I absolutely love. It's like Green Lantern, Mega Man, Aliens, like Macross, Gundam, like whatever's in that little.
I want to point out that your kid didn't make that list.
Oh man, no, I'm talking. Yeah, there's no way to sound good for me. Oh
this
man,
is the list, and Mega Man is on top of
it. Oh man,
he said he doesn't remember the company. It came out 2 weeks ago.
No, okay, I'll have to look this up. 2 weeks is okay. If it was like 2 months, then it's no go. Might still be able to get it. I don't even remember where I was going with that.
You're telling us all the things you love in life.
I mean, as far as like, you can't recover from.
No, you can't really. Are you new Alien series? Perhaps. I can. We'll talk to myself because I know Matt's gonna jump in because this is what happened last time. Because his wife might have canceled the internet. That's what my guess is. So we'll just be patient. And we'll be back. If not, I could just like really awkward.
Bullshit. I'm back. I don't know what's going on here.
I just said that your wife probably canceled the internet.
I don't know what's going on. I've been playing Monster Hunter World all day long. Haven't had a single issue. I just want to talk to a human being and it just doesn't want to let me do it.
Rotex said, how's the Superman run going? It is going. Slowly. I feel lonely without because most of my run is still in Newfoundland. Because I've really been on the like graphic short box kick. Because like I enjoy them and my wife's like they're not ugly, so I like those better. So I bought like a whole bunch for my Superman run, but I got to ship them up. But
I
I get too distracted is my problem. Is like I go to that warehouse sale and I'm like, oh yeah, like I went in and I was like, I'm only gonna look for Superman Action Comics, like that's all I'm gonna buy. And then like I buy that giant magazine of Green Lantern.
I can't believe you found that.
I told you I found 2 of them so far. I just need one more. One more. I keep telling that guy.
There's only the
That
3, eh?
yeah, I know. And I'm like, I just need that one.
I don't even understand why they did that. Why would you spend money on that? Like, why would they do that? Like, I can't imagine. I think the retail price was like $10 for those things too, wasn't it? What did it say?
$7.99 Canadian.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, because I mean, realistic.
I just love how,
other than it just like being enlarged, it's not.
and the issues are totally out of, like, they're not even.
No,
I don't even think that it's a story arc. It's just random issues.
No, it's not like this one. Because what's this one? I think this is the second one. I think.
Yeah.
And it's like what? It's like the issues like the first issue of Blackest Night, and then like an issue by like J. Michael Straczynski, and then like an issue by Danny O'Neill.
It's just, yeah, I don't. I'm not even sure why they did that.
I don't know.
That's when Green Lantern was at his hottest, like unstoppable. Just print Green Lantern and you print money.
Yeah, I wish it wasn't like that. I need. I'm still looking for my first Guy Gardner.
Oh, I don't even have that.
I really want it.
I think the first John Stewart is cheaper than the first Guy Gardner, and John Stewart is an older issue.
It is. It is. I want both of them. And it's just like, man, I cannot find like I've never seen Guy Gardner in the wild. And B online, even when it starts at like $20, I don't see that book ever go for less than like 150, 200.
Yeah.
And like it'll go for 150 with like half the cover missing. And I'm like,
isn't there something weird where isn't there like an issue where there's his first appearance, and then there's the one where he first appears on the cover.
Yeah.
I think the one where he's on the cover is worth way more than the one where he just first appears in. You would have no idea he's even in the book.
Yeah, no, because 59 Robotech said about Green Lantern being hot. He said, is that the way with anything Jeff Johns is writing?
Oh my God. I don't know, like, that dude, he was on a hot streak for like a few years there, where any book that he started writing, he would just fix it, and it was like that bestseller. Like, it just, he was unstoppable, that guy. And then they put him in charge of all the DC movies, and it's like nobody would listen to a word he would say, and then it's just, yeah.
And then you just got cinematic masterpieces.
Starts getting crazy. And I think they removed him, eh?
Yeah, I saw that. I think, yeah, they were like, you don't know what you're doing. Although they wouldn't listen to him.
He does, but he probably had no power.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be frustrating. Oh man.
They were like, well, did you end up seeing Justice League?
I did not, no.
You saved the hour and a half, 2 hours.
Oh man, see, that's it bums me out so bad. Like, I want these movies to be good, and it's apparently people are saying there's a group of people that have come out, and like, when what's his name, Zack Snyder, he had his rough cut of the movie before this whole Joss Whedon thing. Like, he had his rough cut of the movie and screened it to like a bunch of people, and these people are coming out now saying that this version of the movie is way better than the one that we got. But
which I believe. See, I don't
Apparently,
understand. I'm a big like Zack Snyder fan, and
I
I don't get the hate. I don't get the hate because that's what happened with Batman versus Superman was a pile
you're
of
talking to a
garbage.
guy who's
Sucker
one of
Punch.
his favorite movies is Sucker Punch.
Sucker
So
Punch. Also one of my favorite movies. But I'm like, Batman versus Superman was like heaping flaming pile of garbage. But if you watch Schneider's cut on the Unlimited, it's way better.
yeah, it's
Like, because I get it. I get they were scared because Schneider's cut basically made it a higher rating, and Schneider had like politics deal like in it to deal with Superman, but it's like it made it such a better movie. Like the entire beginning of that movie actually makes sense with Schneider's cut. Like without the
I
politics, you're just like, oh, Superman is like fighting these people in the Middle East, and I don't know what's going on.
my only problem that I had with that, I mean, it's not like a perfect movie or whatever. There's things that I would have changed, but my my thing with that is like what was going on with like Bruce Wayne when he would have his like dreams. He was having dreams within dreams. Like that little scene with the Flash, I don't even know what the
Yeah,
hell was going on there. And then when he was when he was wearing his like he was in the desert with his goggles and his duster jacket and the parademons, like what the hell is this? What is going on here? That I like. This is why I buy Blu-rays, like because I want to get like I want the commentary track to like I want to get in your head to understand why you made the movie the way you did, but I didn't get any of those answers. It's just
yeah. I like I said, you're not miss. I mean, I Justice League when it's on Blu-ray. I'm a sucker like that, but it's Whedon destroyed it. Like I'm not really like that technical of a movie watcher. I'm pretty. I mean, I feel as Sucker Punch people, I'm like pretty easy to please. Like,
I'm probably one of the yeah, I'm probably one of the worst people to watch a movie with because I will rip the fucking thing apart while I'm watching it. Like this plot point doesn't make any sense. Like this is why I didn't like I didn't like the Last Jedi because I watched that whole movie. I'm just like, oh, these fucking characters are idiots. Like stupid. Like you yeah. Anyway,
yeah, that's why. Like,
but I like Sucker Punch, so I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. It's just the movie. You could tell that it was like cut. That we can cut it, which I've never really seen. I've never overly watched a movie where I'm like, oh yeah, they definitely went in and like recut it. But it was like the timing was like really like the editing really made it like a Josh Whedon haha Avengers like fun and funny movie when it was
Yeah,
like really bizarre with the imagery because like all the cyborg stuff is like Cyborg is so depressing that like you want to die, and it wasn't even that. Uh, it's not even that like I didn't even mind that part if it was all like Schneider's gritty dark vision, but like it didn't make any sense like where I've got to deal with like Cyborg like having a mental breakdown, and then the next scene is like the Flash and Batman trying to hit on Wonder Woman and like joke about it.
yeah. It's just like it what is it like it's just like all over the place like totally apparently there's like depending on what article you read there's like apparently there's like hours of deleted scenes and I would just love to see I don't see them ever doing this but I would just love to see like them release on Blu-ray like the theatrical cut and then the Snyder director's cut or something,
Yeah.
and just it'd be nice to have that. But then you would have I could see why they wouldn't do that because if I don't even know what's going to go on with these DC movies at this point, but if or when they make a sequel, like, do you make a sequel to the theatrical cut, or do you make a sequel to the director's cut that the fans like more? Like,
I kind of figured too they'll be scared because I figured with Whedon coming in to fix this that they're probably trying to get Whedon to do other stuff, and then
well, you know what happened? Well, I'm
go ahead.
sure what happened was they were probably like almost done filming Justice League, and then Suicide Squad is in theaters, and they're like losing their shit because everybody's like, oh, you know, I didn't like that. I didn't like that movie. That's another movie where I could just tell there's literally, like, near the beginning of the movie, they like show this scene, and then they show the scene again because the audience were just all a bunch of retards that can't remember that this is this and this is that. Like, the editing in that movie was all over the place.
Yeah.
And you're basically, and the whole premise of that movie, now I'm getting all going here, but the whole premise of Suicide Squad just bothered me. Like, that line, they should have cut this line out. The line where, like, Amanda Waller says that they need to make a team in case the next Superman isn't on our side or something. So hang on a sec, Amanda Waller. So you telling me if another Superman, like an evil Superman, ever wanted to like mess your shit up, you're going to get Captain Boomerang with his stupid boomerang. He's half drunk throughout the whole movie. And you got Harley Quinn. She's insane, and she's got a baseball bat or whatever. You're having this team of misfits try to fight Superman. Like, this is...
Well, I never understood that line because I was like, why wouldn't you just use the first Superman?
I know. You don't think Superman would just like go and... I mean, in the timeline of the movies, I guess Superman would have been dead at that point. Is that takes place after Batman versus Superman, or is it? I don't even. It doesn't even matter. But that Suicide Squad was just a.
Yeah,
I don't like David. What was it? David Goyer? David.
Yeah,
that guy's a tool.
Yeah, the one that he's
not a writer. Like, he should write the first draft, and then like 5 people should be coming in after that, cleaning that shit up. Shouldn't be writing and directing.
Well, and this is why, like, this is why, like, why waste someone like Johns? Like,
no, like the guy, just write the script and let him go over it for, like, get a team of writers. Like, I don't know what's going, like, how does Marvel, how are they, like, I mean, what was the worst Marvel movie so far? Like, Iron Man 2, like, is that maybe the worst movie? And I even, like, that one wasn't even, that was good.
I kind of like, I was just, I probably like that one better than I like 3, but I like 3 too.
Like, pick what, like, maybe, that, or maybe people didn't like Ant-Man. I don't know, but like, all those movies are like, I would watch those again and again, but like, I'm not gonna watch Suicide Squad again. That movie was just flaming dumpster fire.
And yes,
I wish I could be one of those people that could just like turn their brain off, and like, I wish I was one of those people that could go to like Transformers 5 and be like, that was a good movie. Like, no, I'm not a moron.
You're a monster. You're
60 IQ. I don't like. I want to watch a good movie. Like, I want to watch a good movie. Like, I don't. It bothers me that, like, you know, movies like Bad Moms Christmas gets made, and like Blade Runner, the fucking movies made by artists, and like, it's critically acclaimed, like, all over the board, but nobody went and saw that movie, and it was a fucking failure. And that movie is art. It's beautiful, and it's a good movie.
The soundtrack is effing incredible.
Oh man, like, every scene in that movie, it's art. So good.
Oh, Robotech, yes, we touched on Bendis. He asked if we talked about how bad we think Bendis will mess up Superman.
Oh man, I'm in a dark place right now. It's just, I don't even want to think. Just
I'll say this.
I was scared.
What?
Go
I
ahead.
was
Sorry.
gonna say I would have rather him take over Action. But I see. I love Tomasi and like Superman, Wonder Woman, New 52. That was like my all-time favorite New 52 book. When he brought fucking Magog in, I was like, yes.
is Magog, is he a good guy now, or is he still I don't even know what he is. He's like an anti-hero.
Yeah, he's still bad.
I was going through issues of my old back issues of Justice Society, and he was like totally in it. He was in the team for a while.
Yeah, for a while. Yeah, because in that run they made him bad. And I feel like they brought him. Has he been in Rebirth? I think he was in Rebirth.
Oh yeah, it's probably a different version. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but he was bad in that. Like anything lately, he's been bad. I went to this random shop that like I don't. It's just like a shop, and I felt really bad because the guy working like spent like 15 minutes making fun of me because they have this sick Magog statue. And I'm like, how much is that? And he's like $80. And I'm like, I might have to come back and buy this. And then he was like, I've had that statue for like 10 years, and you're the only person that's ever asked about it. So I lifted up my shirt and I lifted up my arm on my shirt and I'm like, I have a Magog tattoo. And he was like, what?
That's awesome.
I was like, yeah. I was like, the love's real.
That's cool. I like that.
He was just like, he was just like, why would you do that? And I was like, thanks, man.
Yeah, like Bendis, like it's gonna be it's only a matter of time before he's on Justice League. I mark my words. You're gonna have
you think?
Oh,
like aren't they giving that to Schneider? Scott's writing all those minis.
I don't know. Bendis is like he's a
yeah, he is a sucker.
Don't have a Jeff Johns anymore, so I think they took Marvel's Jeff Johns.
Yeah, I was gonna. Oh well, I mean, realistically, what they'll probably do anyways. I was gonna say, I figure Scott will write the main Justice League title, and they'll give Bendis like a secondary. They'll just do another one. Maybe. I figure they're gonna have to have a bunch of spin-out books because like this whole mini. What is there? There's like 5 or 6 books, like series, because they all have weird names, like Justice League, like Mystic, and it's like Pokemon Go. It's like
blue and red.
Yeah, but I think
that's what Marvel did with their X-Men for a while.
Yeah, well, that's
X-Men Gold and Blue, and
that's all they're doing. Because I think they announced like at least 4 or 5 Justice League teams that are going to be in this new launch of Justice League. Because, I mean, from what I've seen, essentially all it is like, let's take the main Justice League characters. They all get their own book, and they all just get, like, secondary characters for the team. So you get 1 star.
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I mean, I don't really care. I'm not going to read it, so.
No, neither am I. I shouldn't.
Unless one of the team. That's a lie. Like, if Green Lantern heads one of the teams, I'll buy it. But that's it.
I don't even want to think like that.
They'll give it to Kyle Rayner.
Yeah. I don't even know what that dude's up to anymore. Like, if he's even...
He's still kicking it. He's really heavy in the last, 3 arcs of Hal Jordan.
I'd be totally okay if they just killed that character off. I would not be upset. I don't think we need him anymore.
Robotech says he hopes that Firestorm and Shazam come back to the Justice League.
I don't even know who's on that team anymore.
Yeah, I don't. I've honestly never. I don't think I've ever read a full Justice League run except for the New 52. I read like the first maybe like 20 issues.
I have all the issues that Jeff Johns did. I've got the Justice League book before that whole run before the New 52, and I've got like Justice League from like I think the late 80s to like early 90s, that whole run. That's when that one's really confusing to buy because it was like Justice League and then it went into like
Oh, that's when they did
Justice
like
League
the
International and then it turned into Justice League Europe and then it was Justice League of America and then it was like what is, but it's all the same volume. It was weird.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
The first little batch of issues was the best one where like Maxwell Lord was like funding the team, but he was like really like getting in their heads and making them do like they're doing all this heroic stuff, but it turns out that he's controlling them to like make himself look better, and then
I've got issue number 1 of that run, and I was meant to buy the rest, and I just haven't.
Is that's the one where on the cover they're all like standing there?
Yeah,
like it's like the most aped cover ever.
I bought that issue like under the most like embarrassing pretenses, and I'll tell it one time. So since I got it, so that issue, because that issue is the first appearance of Max Lord.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it is. And the only exposure I've had to Max Lord is the Supergirl show. And the only reason I like it is because the guy that plays him in Supergirl plays the douchebag jock and Can't Hardly Wait, which is like one of my all-time favorite guilty pleasures in teen movies. And I was like, I have to own this. Like that was my connection to justify spending $1 on it.
Max Lord, like I think he's still dead, right? In the comics, is he even?
No, I think he's. Don't think he's alive.
It was like Infinite Crisis or something. Like Wonder Woman like snapped his neck, and it's like full panel. His head's backwards on his body. You just see her like.
That's hard to come back from.
Yeah. No, that was such a like. If you didn't know it was like that twist was coming, it was so cool. That was a good book.
Also, I will tell you the never buy. I ranted about it in my live video yesterday. So I finished reading. I bought Shadow Man trade from the 90s, like when Valiant released all those 90s trades. What monsters make a trade that has issue 1, 2, 3, and 6?
Marvel still does that sometimes.
Really? Like no issue 4 or 5. It just jumps.
Yeah, that maybe like there was some guest artist or writer, and it's like no, like maybe there's some. Yeah, he just didn't want it. His shitty book in that.
I was just like this. I was reading it because it's like a super short read, and I was just like. I didn't even read issue 6 because I was like, it was like literally the end of a story arc from the 2 issues they didn't include. And I was like, I don't need, like, I saw the first panel and it's like Shadow Man saving an old woman in a swamp. And like, they're talking about like the villain. And I'm like, I don't know who this villain is. Like, I don't know what's going on. I was like, I don't know anymore.
I remember, I'm buying the like Marvel's like their new Star Wars hardcovers, and I think the first volume of Star Wars it's like issue 1 to like 9, and then it's like and then issue 12 to 13 or something like that. I'm like, where are the other issues? Oh no, you got to go buy Darth Vader hardcover to get those issues. I hate that they. It's probably doesn't matter in the overall story, but that's the most current example of that I can remember.
It's so annoying. I hate it. Yeah. So I don't know. I feel like we've been talking forever, and
I've had a couple beers, and I'm gonna pee my pants in 5 seconds here.
I figured you just had a bucket like at the edge of that bed.
I'm scared. I don't know if the microphone would pick that up. Just filling it up.
Well, I guess we could end this. I'm sure it's been like 2 hours at least.
I think so. Yeah, pretty close. Well, it felt like 2 hours just getting this thing set up.
Oh man, yeah, that was like not fun.
But now we've got it. So
they'll
probably update it next week, and then it like won't work anymore.
That's right. I looked at. I was gonna try to have a witty end, but I don't really. Although I did look, and this video, it's almost exactly a year from when we did the other one.
Oh, is that right?
Because I saw like in my Google Hangout, because you tried to get, it was like you called me and Frank.
Yeah.
And it was like January like 20th. Because I was like, that's weird. Why was Matt calling me like last week? And then I looked, it was like 2017. Like 2017. I was like, oh yeah, we did that live stream.
That's awesome.
So I was gonna say, oh, we'll be back soon, but then I thought, well, we'll be back like at least next year.
I'll try to do this more often. At least like if I have somebody to talk to, I'll actually read stuff.
Yeah, get on it, man.
I want to read Descender and let you know how it was.
Yeah, because I'll if I know you're gonna read it, I'll touch up on it. Nice. Like I said, I stopped at 17 or 18, I think.
I want to know how many issues are in here now. It's got to be at least 12. It's 1 to 16.
Oh,
so there you go.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe someday we'll find other friends.
Oh yeah.
Does anyone want to be our friend?
Yeah. I find like when I organize my little room down there, and it's like everything's like all nice and neat so people can see it, and like, why am I like? It's not like anybody comes in here except me. Like, I don't need to display everything so nice for everybody.
That's how I feel. I'm just like, no one's looking at it.
Throw everything in a box and just leave it. I'll dig it out when I need it.
All right. Well, I guess I can stop broadcasting. All right. Awesome. So long, people.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.